Good day, everyone. I am back in a slightly more hairy form, I think, but I've been away on holiday, been back a couple of days, and now I am catching up with some of my requests. Kill the Ache, a song called Echoes. Now, I haven't heard of Kill the Ache before, and from what I have been told, this is their debut single. Always cool to have some smaller artists on the channel and to check out music that I probably wouldn't have come across otherwise. I know my videos with more unknown bands tend to get relatively low views, which is a shame, but I can understand it. But give this a go, okay? Just help support smaller artists and you might find something that you really like. As usual, I'll leave a link to Kill the Ache's channel in the description. Straight off the bat, before we get into the lyrics, I like this already. Nice and heavy for me. In terms of where this channel, or in terms of what's on this channel, my channel, then it's got some Citizen Soldier vibes, probably the closest what I've had so far. Maybe this is a bit heavier. Liking it so far. I'm a simple man. I hear distorted guitars. I like. Okay, so what have we got so far? Luckily, there's lyrics in the description, and it's obviously also a lyric video. So can you hear it screaming in the dark? The air around is heavy, it suffocates. Do you feel the tension drag you down? Screaming in the dark, this grave is suffocating. So sick of asking why. I am alive, hear how I missed the mark, and now I'm left here waiting to die. So I'm not going to unpick this too much because, as a lot of you know, I do have the tendency to go on a bit. But, you know, these are relatively common questions, aren't they? So sick of asking, why am I alive? The very fact that they are sick of asking it means it's a repeated question for them, which they obviously haven't been able to find an answer to. And there's some questions that are just that way, aren't there? There are some questions that are posed that you just cannot answer, and that can be quite unsettling. And it's a very contextual question. It's very specific to the individual asking it. It could be a general existential type question about meaning and life and purpose, or it could be a depressed sense of worthlessness. I'm not good enough, I'm not achieving anything, why am I here, what's the point type of question, which is a very different question to the first one with a different impact on the person. But then they do go on to say how I missed the mark and now I'm left here waiting for my day to die. So what's that? Missed the mark? Missed the mark of what I wanted to achieve, perhaps. Missed the mark of being the person that I wanted to be, or maybe being the person that I expected to be, and now it's too late. I don't know. This is just what's going on immediately in my mind. Okay, I'm not making any attempt to analyze anything here at all.
I see you hold a heavy burden of endless fear.
Let's have that again. So, what do we have there? Dreaming of 1,000 moments, drifting here in between what's held so dear. You see, I hold a heavy burden of endless fear. Dreaming of 1,000 moments. Drifting here in between what's held so dear. Held so dear to me means things that are meaningful to us. We hold them dear. They are things with value that we want to keep close to us. So maybe this drifting between that, the good stuff, no matter how small that good stuff is, and the reality of how painful life can be and how much of a struggle life can be, and if that struggle and that pain is really worth is it worth going through that for the good? Does it balance out? And that juxtaposition, I think I've used that word in the right context there, because he then says, I hold a heavy burden of endless fear. So he has stuff he holds so dear, the good stuff, the important stuff, but at the same time, there is that burden of endless fear. There is that burden of constant pain and discomfort. How do the scales tip with that? Discomfort, pain, struggle, difficulty, the meaningful, important. Does it balance? The crown of thorns you carry, loathing my silent burn. Screaming in the dark, this grave is suffocating. So sick of asking why am I alive? I missed the mark and now I'm left here waiting for my day to die. Like suicide. Inside I hold a heavy burden. We all do. Rip it all out, you'll see my crown of thorns left bleeding. Are you barely breathing? Why am I alive? Look at your life, you'll see you're made of stuff. Like screaming, spitting blood and seizing. Like suicide. Rip it all out, you'll see a crown of thorns. Hear the echoes in the halls. They call you down here. Interesting line there. You see, I hold a heavy burden. We all do. So it's not just me holding this burden, we all do. This is shared suffering, isn't it? That we are all part of this thing that perhaps we could call the human condition. Obviously, it's to different extents, and some suffer more than others for different reasons. But there is this commonality, I think, that we all have, that we all share. And then there's a line there that said, and rip it all out, you'll see my crown of thorns. And I think this idea of crown of thorns was mentioned a couple of times or a few times. And I'm not a very religious person, so I don't, maybe I have this reference wrong, but from my understanding, that's a reference to the crown of thorns worn by Jesus prior to his crucifixion, which was placed upon his head, I think, as a way to mock him and to cause more suffering for him. But I'm not sure what that then goes on to represent. Does it represent suffering and pain, as in the human condition, or does it represent struggle, but the ability to overcome that struggle and endure and have resilience? I'm not sure if that makes sense. But then I guess that means that might fit with this idea of struggling with the pain of life, but still enduring and trying to move forward and not just giving up. I feel like there's some kind of message along those lines in here. It probably needs another listen for me to get that. Right, what did we think of Kill the Ache? A first on the channel, a debut single. And now I think of the name, Kill the Ache. I'm thinking about that now. It's like an ache. It's like there's always that nagging discomfort going on that you really want to try and get rid of, but you can't. Like, kill the ache, get rid of the ache. What did we think? Let me know in the comments. I quite liked it. Hopefully there's going to be more from Kill the Ache on the way. Be sure to subscribe to their channel. Okay, let's help support them. Let's help support smaller artists. Go check out the actual video on their channel. Watch it through. Listen to it without my face and my voice getting in the way. Help them get some views, maybe a little push in the algorithm. Maybe leave a comment on their video. Leave a comment. Mention me. Mention Therapist Reacts. I'll be checking later to make sure you have. Cool. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.